government allays fears that part of the national budget for next year will be used to bankroll the Maharlika Investment Fund. One group decried the Supreme Court's upholding of a ruling that dismisses a stolen wealth case against the Marcoses. The High Tribunal also ordered the city of Makati to pay over 1 billion pesos in tax deficiencies to the BIR. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. The National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, has assured that not a single centavo from the national budget will go to the Maharlika Investment Fund. NEDA Chief Arsenio Balisacan insisted that only idle funds will be used to finance the MIF. He also guaranteed that the investment fund will not sink the Philippines further into debt. Balisacan also said that the Maharlika Fund can be used to invest in any of the 194 infrastructure projects that NEDA identified earlier this year. At the moment, the government is focused on getting the right people to manage the MIF so that funding can begin next year.
So you have to make quite a diligent search for the officers of the corporation who will be able to independently make decisions on those projects. We'll have to meet to define, develop our guidelines. We need to get this economy going because otherwise may iwanan pa tayo.
In other news, the Supreme Court has upheld the dismissal of the billion-peso ill-gotten wealth cases of the Marcoses and their cronies. The High Court ruled that there was no sufficient evidence that former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. and his wife Imelda, along with several cronies, amassed 1.05 billion pesos of dirty money. Recall that in 2019, the Sandigan Bayan had junked the case for the same reasons. Among the alleged associates in the case are Rustan's owner, Bienvenido Tantoco Jr., and Dominador Santiago. The country's High Tribunal noted that while the petitioner had submitted lots of evidence, many were excluded for violating the best evidence rule. The petition was originally filed by the PCGG, or the Presidential Commission on Good Government, in 1987. Meantime, one group decried the Supreme Court's decision, insisting that the Marcoses are guilty of plunder.
Hindi lang usapin ito ng compensation para sa mga victims usapin ito ng accountability, justice, tsaka ending impunity. Kasi usapin ito ng pagbabalik ng plundered na wealth ng mga Marcoses, di ba? Noong martial law, sunod-sunod na ba yan na iakyat sa Supreme Court at talagang hindi natin mababawi ang nakaw na yaman ng bansa dahil ang presidente ngayon ay anak ng diktador.
Moving on to another story now, the LRT Line 1 has started deploying its new generation train sets. Gerard De La Peña reports.
Brand new and fresh from strict testing, these new generation train sets took the center stage at the LRT Line 1 today, with many passengers eager to give it a try. Those who had the chance to ride the new trains had this to say about the Spanish-made trains.
Mas maganda po, tsaka mas malamig. Ayan po, tapos mas smooth siya ngayon.
Malakas ang aircon, hindi na kamukha nung dati. Siksikan, tapos mainit.
Yung aircon po siya medyo lumamig. Malamig po kaysa dati.
The Light Rail Manila Corporation, which operates the LRT Line 1, said that this is no ordinary air conditioning.
The temperature inside the train adjusts to the volume of people inside. So may parang automatic yung kanyang sensor that detects, adjusts to the crowd volume. Mas, I can say na mas modern yung systems niya.
But this is just one aspect that passengers can look forward to the next time they ride the red trains, flying the Baclaran Roosevelt route. The new train has space for persons with disabilities or PWDs, a signaling system that allows for smoother ride, and a high-tech driver's console that allows the one in command to immediately determine the cause of glitches, if there are any. Only one train set is being operated right now, but every week, a train set will be added to the system. This as manufacturers still try to address the leakage that happens when it rains.
The trains are being repaired in batches, no? Dahil natapos na yung first batch, kaya ngayon ay nagamit na namin yung isang train, and then actually in August, first week noon, may madadagdag kami ng isa pang train. So ito po ay gradually being repaired para makadeploy kami unti-unti.
But what will happen now to the Belgium-made Generation 1 trains that have been running for the past 4 decades? While these were supposed to be retired due to lack of spare parts, the LRMC said they may still consider using some of them.
Yung Gen 1 naman, may mga iba kasi kaming Gen 1 train na ni-rehabilitate, na underwent major rehabilitation. So yung iba, pwede pang ma-extend ng kaunti yung life. So pinag-uusapan pa kung gagamitin pa ba siya o talagang totally phase out. But still, some of these units will be on standby. No?
But even with the imminent retirement of the old trains, the LRMC said that there will still be a total of 48 trains running in the system. The LRT operator said this should be more than enough, especially with the expected doubling of passenger volume after the completion of the LRT Line 1 extension from Baclaran to Bacoor, Cavite. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
We have more stories for you after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The government is fine-tuning the approved terms of reference, or TOR, for the rehabilitation of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista is expecting the terms to be published by the first week of August. And while he has refused to disclose any names as yet, the DOTR chief says that many have already taken interest in the project, which is why they pushed for the fastest way of going about it through a solicited proposal. NAIA will be rehabilitated with a price tag of 170 billion pesos over the next few years.
Kasi dito sa solicited, we can accept bid after the publication. Siguro yung iba dyan maghihingi ng extension, no? But kung bigyan man natin silang 3 months by November, we can already open the bids, no? And we can give the award by end of December. Siguro it will take, let's say, 3 to 6 months to do the financial closing. No? So hopefully by middle of 2024, mag-start na yung concession agreement with the winning bidder.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Supreme Court has ordered the Makati local government to pay 1.2 billion pesos in deficiency taxes plus interest to the Bureau of Internal Revenue. This is after the High Court's 3rd Division dismissed Makati's motion to dismiss the case. The Supreme Court, though, also ordered the BIR to deduct the 700 million pesos that the LGU of Makati has already paid from the total tax liabilities. And there's no stopping the 3-day transportation strike organized by Manibela beginning Monday, July 24. That is despite the Transportation Department's statement that 95% of PUV drivers will not take part in the strike. Manibela had earlier accused the DOTR of ignoring their concerns about the PUV modernization program. Manibela has also apologized to President Bongbong Marcos for the date of the strike, which coincides with his second State of the Nation address. The MMDA is planning to set up temporary lay-by areas at gas stations where riders can temporarily seek shelter during bad weather. The MMDA is looking to impose a 500 peso fine on riders who wait out the rain under footbridges and flyovers for more than several minutes. The MMDA is also urging ride-hailing platforms to sanction riders who violate traffic rules, such as passing through the exclusive bus lane. And in sports, Gilas Pilipinas continues to prepare for the FIBA World Cup next month while waiting for young center Kai Soto to recover from a back injury. Marty Bautista tells us more.
Kai Soto recently wrapped up his campaign at the NBA Summer League with hopes of landing an actual roster spot.
Kai Soto with the bucket.
He's set to return to the country this week, but will not able to join Gilas Pilipinas' trainings right away due to a back injury. Soto will only be able to join the mix once he finishes his rehab. While waiting for the 7'3" center, the national team continues to train for the FIBA World Cup late next month. One of the members of the pool is veteran Kiefer Ravenna, who said he can relate to Soto's experiences in the Summer League. Ravenna had been invited to try out for the Texas Legends in the NBA D-League back in 2016.
So yung mga challenges along the way, mga not being able to play kasi the competition is really high. The other teams have different directions. Like sa team nila, there were a lot of, contact players. Yung mga ganung bagay na hindi mo na makokontrol. Kaya tama yung sinabi ni Kai na he's a professional na ready lang siya palagi, which was shown nung pinakita na makapaglaro na siya.
For now, there's still no official timeline on when Soto will practice with the team, but Ravenna is confident that the 21-year-old big man will do just fine.
He's a very smart player. He'll be able to adapt right away. And probably, if not for his injury, he may probably be in better shape than most of us kasi siya kakatapos siya lang ng Summer League. Naglalaro talaga siya and yung training doon, intense talaga. So, yun nga, just hoping and praying he comes here healthy. Yun ang pinaka-importante.
With the team in their final stretches of preparations for the World Cup, Gilas is embarking on almost nightly trainings. Practices will go on here in Manila before the team flies to China for a pocket tournament. There, they will play several national teams also bound for the World Cup. Aside from this, Gilas is set to play a tune-up game against Mexico on August 21, 4 days before the tournament opens. The squad is also working on getting a chance to play Puerto Rico as well ahead of the World Cup. For News 5, Marty Bautista, we are One News.
One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.